Lisandro Martinez's long-awaited return to Manchester United's starting lineup lasted barely an hour, and now the Argentine defender is staring at a costly suspension that could shape the club's entire run-in. Just when United needed experience, aggression, and composure at the back, Martinez's night against Leeds spiraled into controversy, defeat, and a red card that has ignited fierce debate across English football. What should have been a triumphant comeback from injury turned into one of the most talked about refereeing decisions of the season, and one that will now keep him out of 3 of the biggest matches left on United's calendar. After weeks sidelined with a calf problem, Martinez was handed an immediate recall to the starting 11 at Old Trafford. With Harry Maguire unavailable through suspension, the responsibility fell on the Argentine to anchor a defense under pressure from a confident Leeds side led by Daniel Farke. But instead of stabilizing United, the evening quickly slipped away. Leeds stunned the home crowd with a blistering first half. Noah Okafor struck twice before the interval, leaving United chasing shadows and desperately searching for a response after the break. The game had already grown tense when Martinez became the center of attention for the wrong reasons. In the heat of a defensive tussle inside the penalty area, Martinez appeared to grab a handful of Dominic Calvert-Lewin's hair. The moment was subtle, but not subtle enough to escape the watchful eye of VAR. Referee Paul Tierney was called to the pitch side monitor, took a brief look, and promptly produced a red card. Martinez's return had lasted just over 60 minutes. The decision stunned the stadium. Martinez walked off in disbelief, while several United players rushed to protest. Captain Bruno Fernandes was booked for dissent after his animated reaction, and the mood inside Old Trafford shifted from frustration to outrage. United eventually fell to a 2-1 defeat, but the talking point long after the final whistle was Tierney's decision. Replays circulated across social media within minutes, sparking fierce argument among pundits, fans, and former players. Was it truly violent conduct? Or had the referee overreacted to a minor incident? Michael Carrick did not hide his feelings, describing the red card as shocking and one of the worst decisions he had seen. His frustration echoed the mood of many inside the stadium who felt that while Martinez had made contact, it lacked the force or intent typically associated with a straight dismissal. According to the referee's handbook, pulling an opponent's hair can warrant a red card if the action is deemed forceful or violent. That gray area, the interpretation of forceful, has become the crux of the debate. Martinez's action clearly broke the rules, but whether it crossed the threshold into violent conduct remains hotly disputed. Officially, however, the verdict is clear. Martinez was dismissed for violent conduct, and under league regulations that carries an automatic 3-match suspension unless successfully appealed. As it stands, United are preparing to be without one of their most important defenders for a crucial stretch of fixtures. The timing could hardly be worse. United's next match sees them travel to face fellow Champions League hopefuls Chelsea, a direct rival in the race for European qualification. Without Martinez, United's defensive options will be stretched, especially with Maguire only just returning from his own suspension. The absence of the Argentine's leadership and aggression at the back could prove decisive in a match that may define the top 4 battle. Following that, United take on Brentford, another side pushing hard for European football. Brentford's physical and direct style would have suited Martinez's combative nature, but he will instead be watching from the stands. His suspension will then conclude in perhaps the most daunting fixture of all, a home clash against Liverpool, another top-table heavyweight. Missing such a high-stakes encounter is a bitter blow for both player and club, particularly given Martinez's reputation for rising to big occasions. Only after those 3 matches will Martinez be eligible to return, with United's final 3 games of the season offering him a chance to finish the campaign on the pitch. Those fixtures include an away trip to Sunderland, a home match against Nottingham Forest, and a visit to Brighton. But by then, the damage could already be done. What makes the situation even more frustrating for United is how avoidable it feels. Martinez's comeback was meant to inject stability into a defense that has struggled with consistency during his absence. Instead, his dismissal has compounded the problem and forced the team to reshuffle once again at a delicate moment. The incident has also highlighted the increasingly microscopic scrutiny players face in the VAR era. Actions that might once have gone unnoticed are now replayed from multiple angles, slowed down, and dissected frame by frame. Martinez's hair pull lasted barely a second, but it has had consequences that will stretch across weeks. There's also the psychological element. Players now know that even the smallest lapse in composure can be caught and punished severely. For defenders operating in the chaos of set pieces and physical duels, the margin for error has become razor thin. For Martinez personally, the red card is a cruel twist after working hard to return from injury. He had spoken about his eagerness to help the team during the decisive run-in, and his body language before kickoff reflected a player desperate to make an impact. Instead, he now faces the frustration of watching from the sidelines during matches he would relish. The club still has the option to appeal the decision, but such appeals are rarely successful unless there is clear evidence of an error. Given that contact was made and the law allows for a red card in such cases, United may feel the chances of overturning the ban are slim. If they choose not to appeal, the focus will quickly shift to how the team copes without him. Defensive partnerships will have to be rebuilt yet again, and pressure will mount on those stepping in to fill the void. The wider debate over the red card will continue, but the practical reality for United is unavoidable: 3 massive games without one of their most influential defenders. In a season where margins are fine and every point matters, Martinez's moment of rashness could have consequences far beyond a single match. His return was supposed to strengthen United at a critical time. Instead, it has left them more vulnerable than ever.